Hilda arrived in Watchet, I believe, in the 1980s, wasn't it? 1986.
Yes, 86. Yeah, November 86.
Yeah. And one of the first pictures you took, or around that time, was of the harbour.
Yes.
And we drew the harbour picture and put it into the bottle. Could you tell us a bit about the harbour at that time, Hilda?
Well, it was quite busy. It was really, with the ships coming in, because the paper mill was very important. So that created a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of industry for the locals.
Yes, as on the quay, as well as in the harbour, as well as the paper mill. Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So we put our picture on there, and also fossils was a big part of our bottle. We had a fossil in the bottle and some images of it. And Hilda's been an active member of the community since she moved to Watchet in the 80s. Could you tell us a little bit about some of your favourite things, perhaps?
Well, I suppose starting with the Ramblers, because that got me out and about.
Yeah.
And now, you can look to the hills and think, well, you've walked here, you walked there.
Definitely.
And it means something to you.
Yeah.
The Meals on Wheels, which was a WRVF, got me into little places that I wouldn't have got into.
Yeah, and people that you wouldn't have met
people
as
I
well.
wouldn't have met. And then there was the WI, and I ended up, I think, as secretary for 7 years.
7 years.
And we had some very, very interesting trips, because they were, if you went anywhere, it was always extremely well organised and you weren't wasting your time.
Yeah.
And I must say I learnt a lot from them, because I'd never belonged to anything where I lived before.
So you joined so many clubs as well, didn't you? And also you were a stewardess in the museum.
In the museum, yes, that was interesting over the years, you see. Because you never know who was coming in. And we did a survey with Michael Sully, surveying the church yard and all the gravestones. And
wow.
And there was one little pot with nothing. It just said, "Love to Mum." So we didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
Etc.
And we were talking a little bit about the community, weren't we? And how it feels being part of the town. And I know that Hilda was saying that to be able to have your own opinion and to have it heard was one of the most important things. And Hilda said how she feels that is a big part of the community.
Yes.
And Watchet has always
and
embraced.
Watchet, you see, was a community, because there's an awful lot of people who lived with their families and going back several generations, you see. There was the carer who said to me one day, you have to be careful what you say, because you never know who's related to who.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, because...
And that could be, there were a lot of...
that's because it's a nice, close-knit community, and everybody's looking out for one another,
yes,
I'm sure.
Yes,
I
think that is so.
Yeah. So...
And it wasn't too big, you see.
But also you were saying that the people that you can ask about new buildings, there's...
Yes. It's
the
important.
Conservation Society.
Yes, the Watchet Conservation Society. They're important and do a good job.
Yeah, and haven't you been a member of that, Hilda?
I've been a member for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a massive part of the community, and that's really embracing everybody's opinions and thinking about the best for Watchet and how to look forward to the future as well. So Hilda wrote a poem that we put in the bottle for Watchet that she'd like to read.
Shall I read it?
Yes, please.
I spy with my little eye an ammonite beginning with A, in a wall in Govier's Lane. Try as you might to find it, a certain person named Eric will know, as he showed us on a geology walk years ago, years ago, years ago.
Lovely.
And Eric, you see, was Dr. Eric Robinson came down here, retired to Watchet, a geologist who'd had, I imagine, a very interesting life. And then he led little walks here and there. We'd be looking at stones in the houses, in you know.
So that was something that really allowed you to see all the different things going on around Watchet, the bit of history and the different buildings.
Yeah.
And these were all things that you were interested in, weren't they? So which was lovely.
Yes.